Hi all, welcome to Bosco Campus Vision. I'm Soumya here and I'll be dealing with the paper Comparative Literature, which is one of the elective papers of the fourth semester MA English Language and Literature program. The syllabus of comparative literature, it consists of 4 modules and we'll be starting with the third module, which is entitled Prose and Fiction. So in this module, we'll be dealing with 2 short stories and 2 novels. The 2 novels are Indulekha by O. Chandu Menon and The Second Turn by M.T. Vasudevan Nair. The 2 short stories are What the Sufi Said by K.P. Ramanunni and The Key of the Store by Ponkunnam Varki. And in today's session, I'm planning to give you a general idea about the author and the novel Indulekha. So today we'll be speaking about O. Chandu Menon and his classic Indulekha. About the author. Oyyarathu Chandu Menon, popularly known as O. Chandu Menon, was a prolific Malayalam language novelist. His interest lay in writing, reading, enjoying Kathakali, and had a realistic approach in writing. His experiences and interest can be seen in his novels. So he was an avid reader, and his novels were a realistic portrayal of contemporary Kerala society. Chandu Menon was a sub-judge of Calicut, and he was also a member of Malabar Marriage Commission, which was instituted in 1891 by the British government of Madras Presidency in order to look into the changes that could be brought about in the matrilineal system that was practiced by the Nair community. That is a form of marriage called Sambandham and their inheritance system. Moving on to his works, Indulekha is Menon's first novel. It is also considered to be the first finest novel written in the language. And he has also written another novel called Sharada, but it is left unfinished. So these are his 2 works. Indulekha was translated into English in 1890 by W. Dumurg. The novel was very successful that within 3 months of its publication, the second edition was brought out. And it also set a trend for Malayalam novels with female protagonists. And it is to be noted that though Kundalada, which was written in the year 1887 by Appu Nedungadi, is the first Malayalam novel, literary critics and readers for more than a century worshipped Indulekha for its superior status and hence the label of the first major novel. So, Indulekha, with its social and contemporary relevance, as well as its realistic portrayal of characters, its realistic narration, it acquired a superior status and is rightfully labeled as the first major novel in Malayalam language. There is an interesting anecdote behind the writing of the novel. He initially set out to translate Benjamin Disraeli's Henrietta Temple into Malayalam. He felt the cultural nuances or the cultural differences too unrelatable to the Malayali readers. Therefore, he decided to write a novel in Malayalam which would be set in the region, and that is how Indulekha was written. So, Chandu Menon, he initially set out to translate Benjamin Disraeli's Henrietta Temple into Malayalam, but ended up with writing the novel Indulekha, which marked a significant change in the course of Malayalam literature. And the work Indulekha is also considered to be the first social novel as well as the first realist novel written in the language. The importance of the novel is that it was written at a time when there was an emerging class of upper caste men who received a Western style education and were achieving prominent positions in British India. And we'll see one such character in the novel too. And the period was a clash of cultures as the educated Indians were torn between Western ideals and traditional practices. The novel is also set in the late 19th century Kerala society, which was, of course, a period with a clash of cultures between educated Indians who did not have an idea of what to embrace and what to ignore. They were torn between Western ideals as well as their traditional practices. Menon says in the preface that he attempted the writing of a novel due to the affectionate nagging of his friends, and that he started writing the novel in June and completed it in August. He remembers that he was very much attracted to English novels and had the habit of telling these stories to friends. And it is often said that a social novel like Indulekha did not intend a complete transformation of society but appropriation of certain forms. So, a novel like Indulekha, with its realistic depiction of characters with social relevance as well as contemporary relevance, with its depiction of cultural differences and the questioning of authority or questioning of tradition, it did not actually intend a complete transformation of society in a day, but it did bring its own ripple of changes with it. And the novel is of great significance as it openly questions social evils like feudalism, its caste oppression, and polygamy. Polygamy, we know the a practice of marrying multiple spouses. So the novel also puts forth these issues, the issues of feudalism, its caste oppression, and polygamy, unconsented marriage, etc. So that was a sneak peek into the novel, and it brings us to the end of this session. And in the next lecture, we'll be dealing with the summary of the novel Indulekha. And as today's assignment, please do write the relevance of the novel Indulekha in Malayalam literature. Thank you and have a nice day.